Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back. And today, I was thinking, let's make something really cool. Now, I like to play Destiny 2 a lot. And I was thinking, what if one of the most iconic guns in Destiny 2? And I'm like, it clicked and it just thinks, Ace of Spades. Now today, we're gonna make that out of a Hammershot. So for those of you who don't know, Ace of Spades is Cade 6's gun. And I think this will work great. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox this thing and get started. Okay, so we got all the parts in. First thing here is we've got the barrel attachment. This is going to go on the front. The gun. Ooh, that looks good. I think that'll work perfectly. And we've got the other rail, which I assume goes about right there. That'll go on the front of the gun here. Next, we've got the cylinder, 8-shot cylinder. This will replace the one in there because of the color, and also has some functionality. Then we've got these, which is a metal trigger and hammer, which should fit in really nicely with the theme of the build. And we also have 2 springs here to choose, I believe 8 kilogram, even though one seems stronger than the other. So if you don't know what the Ace of Spades looks like, here's a picture. I think we're just gonna go ahead and start and open everything up and get ready to go. First time lapse. Let's go. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take all of this apart. And just take that out completely. And this pops out really nicely. Makes it super easy. Okay, we can put the shells off to the side for now. I'm just gonna take a look at the internals. So first you got the spring. Pops out nice and easily. We can take our modded spring here, and this will pop into there, and I'll push that in eventually. It's not a good noise. I'll put that back in later. Use this to hold the screws. Now we're gonna take this whole thing apart. So one thing I wanted to test before we get started was the barrel. If I take the barrel and take this piece and I just put it in here, is the air restrictor going to be always open? So the air restrictor will be always open, no matter what. So I'll have to decide with this, just because of the way these are shaped, if I want to remove the air restrictor or not. Don't think I'm gonna do, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, now for taking apart the internals, there seem to be just 2 screws here. They both seem to be the same size, so you don't have to worry about that. Oh, just kidding, there's a 3rd one. That screw doesn't fit in there. Okay, so all 3 screws there seem to be the same size. You don't have to worry about that. This little panel here should pop off pretty easily. Okay, doesn't look like we need to meddle with anything on that. And then the trigger will just come out. You have to be careful, there is a little spring underneath it. Definitely do not want to lose this. And in case you're wondering about the orientation, there's a side that's just one little thing coming out, and the side, a thing coming out, and it comes up. Now the one that's coming up is going to be facing backwards towards the hammer, and the one that's just the one little thing sticking out is facing the front and just behind this tiny little lip here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see if I can get that on camera. Put that, don't want to lose that. Trigger. And then, I don't know if we, okay, that comes out like that. And we'll pull the plunger out. Now I'm just gonna have to go ahead and knock these pins out of the hammer. I've been told one side's bigger than the other one, so you gotta make sure you put it in, take them out the right direction. I will come back to you once I have done that. So I've successfully detached all the parts because we will not be needing this. Now, on the pin, this a little bit different. There's one side that's smooth completely, and one side with little rough grooved edges. I don't think you can see that at all on the camera. But I believe the side with the grooved edges is a little bit thicker than the side that's smooth. So you're gonna wanna push. I just used the pin from the cylinder because I won't be needing it and I took it apart. On the smooth side, push that out so that the big side comes out first. And then when you're pushing it back in, you're gonna wanna push on the groove side to push that back in. Okay, so now that we take this out, we need to replace that with our metal variant. So we take the pin, and these pins do look to be identical. Should slip into there and slip through pretty nicely. The only thing really holding it in place is those grooved edges. I'm just gonna hammer that in a bit to make sure it stays in. Okay. I'll do the same for the other side. Sweet, so now we got these back in. It looks good. I think I'm gonna leave the air restrictor in because it's been recommended to me to leave it in. So I will do that, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put this all back together and line up the holes to do so. I should do this more for you guys to see it. So that goes on there. Where is our trigger? It is over here. Now we're going to take the spring, insert that back in the correct way. Right there. Making sure to get the hands in the right spot. The spring, the one with the hand that comes up, goes into a hole on the trigger. That will be an important part to remember. Now, one thing I have to do is just with the metal thing, I gave you some grease, so I'm just gonna grease up the area where the metal touches in order to make it last longer. I will go ahead and cut that out because it'll probably be extremely boring and you probably won't be able to see anything. I'll see you when that's done. So, I've gone ahead and greased all the internals, including the seal, and it should be working fine. I sealed it all up, spring's there. I'm not gonna put that in quite yet just because I don't feel like it. This looks really cool. The metal feels amazing. We're gonna put this aside for now. We're gonna go ahead and work on the shell here. So the big things for the shell are the attaching of the front piece. Never quite realized how long this is gonna be. Okay. And getting it ready for paint job. So for that, we're gonna go ahead and sand the whole thing down really well, and then eventually we'll get to the point of painting it. Yeah, I think it'll look super cool. I'm just gonna go ahead and get to work on it. First things first, I'm going to test out the attaching of this. Okay, so that looks really cool. I think that'll work perfectly for our application. I can't wait. This already looks super cool. We got the metal trigger, and we got the front barrel. And I can't wait to get the paint done because that'll probably be the coolest part of it all. Yeah. After this, it goes to sanding. So I'll prep work for paint. Okay, so I finished it all out and it looks great. The paint on top, clear coat and everything, it just turned out better than I could ever imagine. There are some things, like it's not exact replica of the gun because you can't really make it that way, but I tried to do it as close as I could. I had to do a lot of sanding to try to get the parts to fit over the paint again, but it was worth it. It fires well, and I love the way, because of the hammer, that you can
What's going on?
fan fire it, and it just looks super cool. So if you're looking at the same thing, that's pretty big. It is pretty big. Like, it's a whole thigh worth of holstering it. It'd still be pretty cool to build a holster. I mean, I think maybe if this video gets 100 likes, I'll build a custom holster for this, and that'll be pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I did. It was a lot of fun to make, and I think it turned out great. If you like that video, make sure you leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to see my other Hammershot mod, click right here. And if you want to see how to win Nerf war, click right here. Happy holidays, and I hope you have a great new year.